College football fans, man, it's time to talk TCU versus Colorado Buffaloes, man. Fanatic on the Fanatic Sports Network. He's the stat guy. I'm Coach I. We talking football. Let's
Yeah,
get into it.
the fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I
All right,
see.
man. That's right, man. We're here to do another season preview. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the bell notification so you can get notified when we have videos and spread it with people, man. So we can get people in the comments. If you don't know, me and the stat guy like to be in the comments, man. We will, answer questions. We will have some debate. We'll, take some shots. If you take some shots, as long as we keep it all, what I'm saying, above board and don't make it personal. Hey, man, it's all football. It's all fun. So, listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this thing, man. It's the 2022 season recap. Can't say a lot about the Colorado Buffaloes because this is pretty much a new team. I know they got some guys that came back from last year's team, but I think Coach Prime brought in 49 transfers, lost more than that. So it's relative. It's basically a new team now. The TCU Horned Frogs, hey man, national championship runner-ups regardless of how they look. They went 12-2 last year. They fell to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship and then lost to Georgia in the CFP championship, but they did beat Michigan, a good Michigan team last year. And then Colorado, everybody knows they went 1-11 last year. But that, like again, that's not a testament to what this team might be because it's pretty much a total new team. All right, man. With that said, man, let's go ahead and kick these thing off, man. Start talking this year. TCU offense versus the Colorado defense. Stat guy, what you thinking about that TCU offense taking on this Colorado defense?
I mean, I think the biggest thing you think is the changing of the guard at offensive coordinator with Garrett Riley off to Clemson. They bring in Kendall Browse, who kind of similar philosophy, high octane, wants to move the ball around, wants to put up points. Um, Look, they lost their wide receiver one off to the NFL. They lost a quarterback off to the NFL, but it's not like they don't have guys that had beaten them out in the spring to start last year off anyway. So I think we don't see a letdown from this TCU offense. I think we see them continue to truck right along and look to kind of build on the success they had last year.
Man, you're right. Chandler Morris did originally beat Max Duggan out. Then he went down with the injury. So Sonny Dykes thought enough of him to put him in the starting, spot initially. And I think he should be able to come off that injury and get back to it. Savion Williams at running back is back. They did pick up a nice pickup and JoJo Earl from Alabama. I think that's going to help not only at wide receiver, but that's going to help he was a good punt returner at Bama. So I think that definitely helped. Kendall Browse, like you said, of course, the son of Art Browse, and that's where that offense that Garrett Riley runs came from. It kind of is a similar thing too, you know what I'm saying? But can he come in and do the same thing? The Buffalo's defense, we can talk about some key players. My biggest question is chemistry and then also trenches. They're kind of undersized in the trenches, Colorado is, but the secondary is definitely not void of talent. I mean, you got Travis Hunter, who was the number one corner athlete, whatever you want to call him, coming out of his class. Got Kermani McLean, who was the number one corner in his class. You got Shiloh Sanders, who has SEC experience from South Carolina. I mean, then you got at linebacker, you got Levante Bentley, who played at Clemson. So, I mean, you got some guys, Derek McClendon on the defensive line. At every level, you got somebody that's played, at big time college Power Five football. Derek McClendon came from FSU. He had 3.5 sacks. So, my biggest question for that Colorado defense is the chemistry and the size, those trenches, man. Now, granted, they're going to play a team, in TCU who I think definitely has the size in the trenches, but maybe they don't have depth on that offensive line. So we'll see how that's going to be.
Yeah, no, for me with Colorado, man, it's those cornerbacks, right? It's what Hunter and McLean are going to be able to do, just locking people down. I'm interested to see them all year long on islands and seeing if they're the real deal after what Travis Hunter was able to do in HBCU last year.
That's right, man. We're at the halftime of the break. time for the stat guy fact of the day. Stat guy, go ahead and tell us what you got, man.
Yeah, man. So look, everybody knows Colorado went 1-11 last year. Definitely a disappointing year. But even worse than that, they were also 1-11 against the spread while getting double digits week in and week out. Colorado, you got to do better. Back to you, coach.
Let's go ahead and hop back into this thing, man, and talk about the TCU defense, talking about taking on the Colorado offense, man. We can't talk a lot about the Colorado offense from last year because, again, a lot of new faces. But what we can tell you is what they do have on offense. What they do have is a new offensive coordinator who came from Kent State, Sean Lewis. Sean Lewis definitely knows how to move the ball, get that ball to his playmakers in space, and put up some points. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the highlights of Kent State versus Georgia. Also, man, they got Shadur Sanders. Shadur Sanders showed what he could do on the HBCU level. Can he replicate that same thing on the Power Five level? I mean, he's got that Sanders in his DNA, so we know he's not going to shy from the bright lights. Also, on the outsides, Travis Hunter will be pulling some double duty at corner and wide receiver, and then you got Jimmy Horn Jr. You got running backs, Cavassier Smoke and McCaskill. McCaskill coming from Houston, man. That listen, if they can stay healthy, they might provide that safety blanket that you need when you a lot of these players making the jump over to Colorado, man. What you thinking about that TCU defense taking on that Colorado offense?
Yeah, for me, it's kind of the same on the other side around. It's all about the trenches. Colorado's kind of undersized in the offensive line. That's kind of one of their areas of not having a lot of depth. And can this TCU front four and front seven wreak havoc on that Colorado offensive line, stifle the running game, and then kind of put Shador under pressure? And then what do we see from him when he's running for his life or when he's laying on his back?
Yeah, that's right, man. The TCU defensive line, we'll see what they got. I mean, they got some guys up front. They got Dominic Williams, Tyler Mitchell. Then at linebacker, they got Jamoy Hodges, and then preseason All-American corner, Josh Newton. So we're gonna see what they look like out there. Tomlinson is going at corner, but they still got guys. I think the key to this game, or a key to this battle between the TCU defense and the Colorado offense is, like you said, the Colorado offensive line, their size and their depth going against the TCU defense line, who's played in some games versus some bigger lines. So let's go ahead and you know what time it is. It's the fourth quarter. It's time for keys to the game and our score predictions. So, stat guy, TCU is actually favored by 20 and a half points or 21 and a half, depending on who you go by, FanDuel, MGM, Vegas Insider. What's your keys to the game and the score prediction for this game?
So, keys to the game is going to be a battle in the trenches, for sure, on both sides for both teams. And then I think for Colorado, it's going to be trying to establish the run game with their two-headed monster running back that they have to try to free up Shador to make some plays. I think that's where the game is won and lost. As far as my score prediction, I love everything that Coach Prime has done this offseason. I definitely think he was a winner of the offseason. Think TCU just got a little bit too much for him, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt, and they're going to cover the spread. But give me TCU 41, Colorado 31.
Okay, man. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because I feel the same way about you. I think this game is won in the trenches. It goes for depth, size, strength, things of that nature. Can they handle it? But one matchup I am looking forward to is Jimmy Horn Jr. and Travis Hunter taking on that secondary. More specifically, the preseason All American. What I'm saying, corner Josh Newton maybe lining up on top of Travis Hunter to see who wins those battles. You know what I'm saying? So again, I am definitely not taking TCU in the spread. That's a lot of points. I think that's, like I say, a lot of that's based off of last year. I'm a TCU. I like TCU. I like Sonny Dykes, but I'm kind of like you. I got a 10-point victory for TCU, more like 34-24. I think there will be some scoring in this game, but again, can those trenches hold up, for Colorado against TCU? I don't think they will. I think they could get better as the season go on. And I think chemistry again is going to play a part of this. There's a lot of new pieces. You can't just put a whole bunch of pieces out there and expect them to be gelled the first couple games of the season. So there it is, man. Colorado fans and TCU fans, man, get in the comments. Let us know what your predictions are and what you think the keys to the game are. Will Colorado shock TCU at TCU, or will TCU hold ground and try to start their run to make another college football playoff? For the stat guy, this is Coach Ice, the Fanatic on the Fanatic Sports Network. We out.
Peace.
Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the Fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?